Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your boy Prem back with another show. And today I have a good friend of mine, Mr. Dan Horror.
Hey everybody.
How you doing? I thought we were changing up a little bit. You know, we have our personal recommendations for stuff to share with the audience, whoever's viewing this, and we discuss why we, got to that recommendation, and that's it, I guess.
Okay.
Nice and sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, I guess I'm the host and you're the guest, and I will start off with you. What's your first movie that you're recommending for the audience?
Okay. Now, you know how it is when Halloween ends. It's like the stores are already like decked out for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
I already got my Christmas shirt this year already.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a 2017 movie. Okay, but it's on the Paramount app. I don't know how long it's been available. It's kind of a sleeper film. It's called Mercy Christmas,
Never
and
heard of that one.
yeah, I had never heard of it either. I passed by it a couple times when I was browsing, and I said, you know what? I always like want to I want to try to add one Christmas horror movie every year, at least one,
Okay.
to some of the classics. And I watched it. It was pretty good. I mean, it was yeah. I mean, it was obviously not a huge budget film. I
Okay.
didn't recognize anybody in it. And
Hmm.
after doing some research, like the one actor, the main guy is named Steve Hubble. He's
Hmm.
got tons of credits, but as crew, like he's been a key grip on movies like The Avengers. And he's only got like 3 acting credits, and
Oh.
yeah, he did really well. And it's basically about a guy who gets invited to a Christmas dinner under false pretenses, and and
Um.
things go south. I mean, and he's not the only one there, but he doesn't even know that yet, and
Hmm.
it gets pretty bloody, and it mixes comedy, and it's not the goriest film ever, but it mixes some gore and some violence pretty well. I mean, it's a hard balance to achieve, but
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed it.
Okay. What's the name of it again? So the audience will know.
Mercy Christmas.
Mercy Christmas, 2017 release. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's a good one. So let me go here and pick one of my movies that I enjoyed this year. And I'll be honest, I definitely had it as something that was already counted out before I watched it. But I watched and I was pleasantly surprised, and that's this Red
Oh,
Notice.
okay.
It's on Netflix. You got The Rock. He's not adding on to his acting chops. You got Gal Gadot, easy on the eyes, and Ryan Reynolds, excellent time. I think the thing that stood out to me, I mean, it was well made, big budget. The action was good. I like the concept. Nothing really original but unique. Is that Ryan Reynolds has it down to a science now. His one-liners and his punches and stuff, his little zingers he got. He don't overdo it, and you can tell he's seasoned. So that's something that stood out to me.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
was, yeah, so I definitely appreciate that. So if you haven't seen it, I will recommend it to you guys, and I'm gonna move on to the next movie that you have, Dan.
Okay. This one is kind of a more of a recent one on Shutter, VHS 94. You know,
Hey, I seen that. I
you
enjoyed
seen it?
that. I
Okay.
enjoyed all of them, honestly.
I enjoyed all of them.
Yeah.
You know, like pretty much every anthology movie or series, there's seems to be a few episodes that stand out. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I thought this one was at least as successful as most of them. Might not have been the best one, and I can't recall all of the different
Mm-hmm.
ones off the top of my head. But I definitely enjoyed watching it. I have to write his name down. The segment called "The Subject," directed by Timo Tihantto. I
Mm-hmm.
believe they were speaking Indonesian. I believe
Yeah.
uh, that was crazy, and it seems like people either really liked that episode or they didn't like it at
I
all.
like all of them, and I like that one you just mentioned, the Indonesian one.
Yeah.
I thought it was unique. I thought it was different, but it
Yeah.
still was in the same line of VH1. So I definitely
Oh, yeah.
got myself.
Yeah. And I like the way that the wraparound segment, the joining segment, became part of the story at the end. You know, I like when there's a connection. It's not just filler in between each segment. And you know, like there's an old classic anthology called The Asylum that does that at the end. You think there's one more story, and then the people telling the story, just different stories, become the story, the last episode, you know. And this one wasn't quite like that, but it had a connection. I thought that was pretty clever. So
yeah, the SWAT team, definitely good, definitely good. All right, so I'm gonna come over here and pick my next one, and I guess we both grew up with the Disney movies, especially the animation. And when they did live action to this one, I was like, here we go, just a cash grab. But I'm not sure how I ended up going to the movies and watching this, but I did. Oh, my lady. There you go. My lady. And I got to say, I was pleasantly surprised. And it made my top 3 movie of the year.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't imagine where you were going with that. That's pretty amazing. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna recommend this movie to you, anybody who's watching this. If you haven't seen The Devil Wears Prada, that's a really good movie. But Cruella kind of like nudged that one out the #1 spot and took over. So if you want something that's original, because I think the story right and how they put it together is something unique. It's still in the Disney vein, but I would say it's a little bit darker.
That's what it looked like, yeah.
Yeah, because me and my lady enjoyed it. So Cruella was definitely a good movie. I'm gonna highly recommend it, and I'm gonna come back to you for your next recommendation.
All right. Again, I'm always behind the times. A little bit. I'm trying to get caught up. Like I mentioned, Antlers. Boy, I really wanted to see that in the theater. It's hard for me to get to theater. But I just saw Candyman yesterday only because it came out on sale. But not a new movie, but it is new on Shudder this week, and it's Fender Bender. And it stars Bill Sage, who he's been in movies like We Are What We Are. Good actor. He was in a movie called Even Hand years ago. Not a horror movie. It's about police officers. He played this guy who was like any minute now he could explode, you know, and he's really good at that. And when I saw that he was in this and he was playing like the antagonist, the bad guy, I thought it would definitely be pretty good. And it's pretty good. So it's like a serial killer type of film. He has a definite modus operandi. I mean, it's called Fender Bender. So in the beginning, he bumps into somebody's car and gets their information, and you can pretty much imagine where it goes from there.
That's a neat way of getting into the film.
Yeah, and I like it because it reminded me of The Collector a little bit. The way that The Collector, like one sort of assault or one, you know, he has these like missions where he assaults a family, and then it leads to the next one.
Yeah.
So he uses his car like that, and it was pretty good. I mean, you know, he's got a pretty cool looking mask and a pretty cool looking weapon. He's actually kind of like creepier without that when he's just trying to get to know people and trying to steal their information, though. But it's definitely pretty good.
All right, I have to check that out. I think that might be something me and Lori can watch later on.
Yeah,
definitely. That sounds really good. So I'm gonna bounce back to me, and this was a hard one. You know, I discussed it with my lady, and we both agreed and we enjoyed it. There's a lot of movies that we've seen this year, not much that we wanted to watch, but it was enough. And this is the movie that made the third movie that I recommended to people. The Harder They Fall.
Oh yeah.
Great movie. It's on Netflix. You know, at your convenience, Dan. Check it out. I like what the director did. He paid homage to A Fistful of Dollars, The Good, the Bad, the Ugly, spaghetti westerns, you know, Pale Rider, stuff like that. There was no social underlines in it because, you know, how they hit you over the head with social stuff that wasn't in the movie. It had a decent budget, and believe it or not, the people came to act. They was really acting. So
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
when people appreciate the role and really come and deliver their lines and all that stuff, you know, the character to us to make us believe these characters in these movies, then it steps up the not the movie. So with that being said, I'm gonna recommend it to you.
Yeah, I love spaghetti westerns. I love westerns, and you know, I know that it's historically accurate too, from my understanding, from everything I've read.
Yeah,
And that's a side of the old west that I like. You know, we haven't seen enough of, so I'd like to see that.
And I just found out that Jay-Z produced that movie. He made that movie. So
okay,
for him.
Yeah,
I guess he's slowly sneaking in there and making movies.
Yeah,
he can afford it.
Right. Well, producing, I mean, you make some phone calls and you set the gears in motion, but you know, why not?
So I'm gonna add this to the mix. Honorable mention. Do you have any honorable mention that you want to go across? Because I could think of some. I know you can think
go
of
ahead.
some.
Go ahead. Yeah,
I'll go first then. This is a really tight movie, and it just got nudged up a little bit. But this is one of my honorable mention as a movie, and that is
okay,
The Tomorrow War. I'm not sure if you've seen it. Have you seen this one?
Not yet. No.
Oh man, I'm gonna co-sign this. I think what they did is pay a little homage to old school, stick to the subject science, and make it plausible in the movie with action. Whereas it wasn't just like a special effects CGI fest, which takes a lot of people out of the movie. Well, it takes me out, you know.
Okay.
So again, a decent budget for that platform. I was pleasantly surprised, and I don't want to give too much away, but when you do watch those two movies, I recommend we're discussing on the platform.
Okay, yeah. You know, Chris Pratt is kind of like Ryan Reynolds. You almost lose track of what they're coming out with.
Yeah, they just wrapped up Jurassic Park, so he's done with that. And right now, he's on the set of Guardians of the Galaxy. They're doing the last one right now.
Okay. Actually, I did think of one honorable mention.
Okay.
It's a short film, but it came out 2 weeks ago, right from Toho Studios for what they called Godzilla Day. It's 5 or 6 minutes. They did a Godzilla versus Hedorah, the smog monster. Remember that guy?
I love that one. Classic.
They did like a short film, like an old school with people in suits and models, and it's only 5 minutes long, so there's not much of a story. It's just basically a battle. But it was just so cool to see them have fun with that and pay homage to the old film.
I'm going to check that. Is that
on YouTube?
Okay,
yeah, it's on YouTube. It's like 5 minutes long. Yeah.
All right, because I did see some, but I wasn't sure what that was, so I just kept like scrolling. But
right,
yeah, that's kind of cool. I wish they bring that character back because I think that's one of his better characters that he fought. And
yeah, well, that scared me when I was a kid. So I mean, that's like really like that was one of the scariest ones. That one stuck with me. Yeah.
Yeah, he gave him a nice little whooping too. So
yeah.
All right. Another honorable mention, and just have to be real. It got edged out, but
okay.
Yeah. It's not a bad movie. Actually, It's a great movie. But these movies that I've seen, you know, it had a wow factor to it that when I watched Red Notice, Cruella, and The Harder They Fall, it was that effect, you know. Whereas Halloween, I knew what to expect, and I got what I expected and then some. So it wasn't really much a wow factor, but it was definitely something that was good, actually great.
Yeah.
Definitely looking to the director wrapping this up.
Yeah.
The Halloween. Let's see what happens. Let's see if he can put a nice little bow on this run that he did, because I think he did one of the better runs with the Halloween franchise so far.
Oh yeah. And you know, it is the middle film in the trilogy. And really, when you think about it, I've been thinking about this a lot. The story's not that complicated. He breaks out of hospital or an ambulance.
Silence, yeah.
And he comes back to Haddonfield.
Mm-hmm.
and they're making a trilogy out of that. So, you know, you can almost forgive that there's some parts in it, because I watched it the day it came out
Mm-hmm.
at home. I rewatched some of it the other day. To be honest, I wanted to get to the part in the beginning with the fireman.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got like kind of impatient waiting for that part. I forgot how long it took just to get to that, even though the flashback scenes were good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm ready to kind of put it away until the next one comes out and then revisit, you know, all 78, 2018, this one, and then the final one, you know.
There it is.
For me,
There
yeah.
it is. I agree with you. Yeah, definitely a good movie. So what's your next mention that you have for us?
You want to talk about series or movies?
One more honorable mention.
Oh, for movies. Oh boy, now I got. I did watch. Mentioned a couple weeks ago. I did watch Horror Noir on what was that on?
Okay.
Shudder.
Oh, you did watch it. Okay.
Yeah, I did get caught up on that. Now that
Mhm.
was, you know, that was just like VHS 94. I mean, I had to go back and look. There were 6 segments. It's a pretty long to sit through.
It is long. It's like 2 hours.
Yeah, I almost think maybe they should have broken that up into
like volume 1, volume 2. Or
yeah,
something.
maybe 2 or 3 volumes. I don't know, but I watched it straight through, and you know, it was definitely pretty good. I was kind of more impressed with all the creative forces at work in there than maybe the finished product. But it was, you know, they were good. You know, Tony Todd had a cameo, and I'm just kind of waiting for him to stop doing cameos and to do something big.
Yeah, he might have something coming down the pipe. I'm about to check on that, but I liked it because it was a small shoestring budget that they was working with, but they really used everything they had to put it on camera in the movie. The acting was good.
Yeah,
the story was good. It wasn't too much beating you over the head, but the conscious social, you know, commentary, it was just enough balance, because I don't like to get beat over the head,
right,
and stuff like that. And it was kind of unique. So it was like Tales of the Crypt, Creep Show, or what, Tales from the Hood, Creep Show, and this. It's like it has its own little
there.
So if they can keep that up, they'll do fine. But right now, they have everybody noticed, and I noticed them, and you noticed them too. So let's see what happens in the next go around, and shorten them. If you're watching, shorten them.
Maybe shorten them. And like the first time you mentioned it, I was thinking of the documentary. So
yeah,
they might have to sort of make some effort with their advertising to let people know about this. You know,
I just happened to glance and look at it again because I seen the name,
right?
But in the background, it was different people, but it had the same colors. They need to put like a volume or change the letters up or something to show that it's a standalone from, you know, that documentary,
right?
Which was good too.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna come down to my last. Let's see, one. Oh, here's the last one for my honorable mention, and this one is on Hulu. It has Mel Gibson in it. I still like Mel Gibson, and I think this is somewhat like a Groundhog Day type movie. But it's an action movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember the guy just dying and he kept coming back?
Okay. And that's Frank Grillo on the book too? Okay. Yeah.
It's his movie. It's a well done action movie. It's not a shoestring budget. It's a solid budget. But again, you know, they put everything in the movie. I enjoyed it. I think I rewatched it, a little bit of it, a week after I watched it the first time, and I think about it. So if I'm thinking about a movie, then it's an honorable mention.
Right. Okay.
So I guess we could go to the next one, and that would be TV shows.
All right.
So I will start off with you with, you know, TV shows.
Well, I was psyched, really psyched when I saw the trailer for Blade Runner Black Lotus. Animated series. on Crunchyroll, and I believe it's available somewhere else. So I believe there were 2 more episodes last night. I have not gotten to see those, but I did see the first 2, which came out last weekend.
Okay.
So they drop 2 episodes at a time, and they're only 22 minutes long each. Animated. I had my son watch it with me. He didn't know anything about the Blade Runner universe.
Yeah.
After the first one, I had him watch the first 10 minutes of the original Blade Runner to get a feel for it. Because what I wanted to show him was how well they captured the whole universe.
Oh, good. Yeah.
The neon and the streets. A lot of the people are still wearing the same hats that they had in the '82 film on the streets because it's raining. There's even a lady that works at the noodle bar that has an eye patch, just like in the Harrison Ford one from '82. Because the spinners, the police cars, as they ascend and descend, that kind of gave me the chills. I'm enjoying the storyline so far. I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. Now they do like a motion capture thing with the people and the faces. A lot of people seem to be commenting that it looks like a video game. It threw me off a little bit, especially with like the male characters. Their faces look like kind of blocky or something. But after a while, I didn't really notice it. I mean, it's
and this is on Crunchyroll.
It's on Crunchyroll, yeah.
All right, I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah,
I'm going to check it out. It sounds good because I do like sci-fi stuff. So
yeah, it's good. It's good. It seems to be kind of action oriented, and the protagonist is she's pretty good. She's a good character, definitely.
Okay, so they're kicking ass in there.
She's pretty much kicking ass so far. Yeah.
Right.
Of course, she has no idea how or why she can kick ass. She's piecing it together, but it's pretty interesting so far.
Let's see. Make sure I got this right. There we go.
Well, okay. Yep.
Did you get a chance to watch this Squid Game?
Yeah, I definitely watched the whole thing.
You did watch the whole thing. All right.
Watched the whole thing. My kids watched it first. I think they were almost finished it, and then they just threw on the first episode when I was at my daughter's place, and I was like, "Oh, that's it. I'm gonna go home and watch the whole thing." So, pretty much, I watched the whole thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was solid. I mean, there's little controversy about setting up the second season. So it may feel a little artificial to people, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Hey, when you get hits on both sides of different countries, and they like it, that's very rare. So they got to strike while the iron is hot. But hopefully, they don't get caught up in the hype and deliver the same content of material that they brought in the first season of Squid Game.
Yeah, and here's what I'm thinking. At one point, of course, he leaves the Squid Game, right? So you're like, what's going on here? I don't know what, second or third episode. But if the rating's good, there's always a way to bring them back. Right?
He the last episode, when he's supposed to go see his daughter and jump on the plane, he turned around and ran.
Right.
And I'm like, come on, man, you haven't seen your daughter in a while. So we have to see how he does that because, he put her through a lot. So what's your next recommendation?
All right. Speaking of anime, I haven't seen that much of it, and I heard a lot about it, and most of it wasn't good. I would just say, I would say see for yourself. I watched the first episode of Cowboy Bebop on Netflix. Wasn't it? I mean, this isn't like a ringing endorsement, I guess, but it wasn't as bad as I thought, considering the way people are talking about it.
I grew up watching the original anime, which is a classic.
Yeah.
I like the actors that's portraying Cowboy Bebop, the main character. So I will watch it and see what's up. But hey, I give it a chance. My rule is always 3 episodes before you discard a series. Always 3. It takes a while to set it up. So yeah, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. My son and I are Cowboy Bebop fans. I watched it a little bit later, like after it had come out, and then they had a special event where they had Cowboy Bebop the movie in the theater, like maybe, I don't know, 2 years ago or something. So we went to see that. So we really enjoyed that. But
how was that watching anime on the big screen?
it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. The funny thing is we went to a theater that was the Hot Theater 20 years ago. I hadn't been there in like 20 years because it's a bit of a drive.
Yeah.
And it was completely run down and smelled like mildew now. But other than that, the movie was pretty good. It was great seeing it on the big screen. And they had a little documentary with the voice actors in the beginning.
Oh.
The voice actors in that are so beloved from the original series, And but that's the one thing I did notice about. I mean, you can't let those little things bother you when it comes to a remake. Especially the guy that plays Jet Black. You close your eyes, he sounds like Jet Black. So I mean,
people have to realize when you're transitioning something from book to movie, you're going to lose some stuff. And there's other two more components to that too. It's the budget and the demographic, because you're bringing it to the mass public who are not familiar with the content. Right. So those three things right there is hard to work. So I'm always mindful of that. Very mindful of that. Oh, that's my daughter. Madison.
That's nice.
Thanks, babe. So yeah, for me, the next one is going to be another Netflix one. After watching the whole show, I went back and did some research on the books. And guess what? The books are violent. And it's good, but Netflix took it another way and they succeeded with something that wasn't violent. Sweet Tooth.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't seen this, I'm going to recommend it. Great chemistry between the two main actors on the poster. Different storyline, like a diaspora type situation, not too much of an apocalyptic situation. Yeah, definitely check that out. I'm gonna recommend it to you and the viewers who are watching this live stream.
Yeah.
So, what is your movie? Your next TV show series?
All right. I haven't watched the whole thing. Kind of jumped around, but I have definitely enjoyed. I almost said Tales from the Crypt. Creep Show on Shudder. I mean, pretty obvious, but I think I mentioned in the comments. Oh, sorry. Season 2, episode 1, called The Model Kid. Oh my goodness, such a great homage to all the old monster movies I used to watch. Creature from the Black Lagoon figure here.
There you go.
I got 2 more today, finally. But I thought that was great. And then the second one, because usually like one episode is really good and then the second one not so much. But then the second one, the public television one, a great homage to the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost like an Evil Dead. It even had Ted Raimi in it. And also, if you grew up watching any public television shows, it was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, and it's funny because I definitely enjoyed it too. I think so far so good, and I think it's good quality for all the episodes. I definitely like how they keeping it in that universe of the Creep Show. So I'm for it. I even like the Christmas thing they had last year, the Christmas.
Oh, okay. Now, see, I didn't watch that. I've heard mixed things about that, but yeah, I'll have to check that out.
It's they tried something. I like when people try stuff. So I enjoyed it just from that aspect of it. So if you watch it again, we always get back and discuss these things.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I did. I jumped around the series. I didn't go in order. I always start with the first episode, but then I jumped around. The other one I really liked was I think it was episode 1 of season 1, about the based on a Stephen King story. One with Adrienne Barbeau and Giancarlo Esposito was in it, and Tobin Bell, about the mutating blobby thing. It was good. Although it's interesting you mentioned books before. I was waiting for them to say certain lines from the story, and when
That
it
would
didn't,
have been nice.
but when
That
it
would've been
didn't,
nice.
yeah, when it didn't come exactly, you can't really be too disappointed, you know.
But you know what though? You just triggered a thought that I had. Because I'm an artist, and I think what they should have done was get the original covers of the stories that they're doing. If they're doing creep shows, like stories from the book,
Right.
I have the artist just do some original work and just start it off like that to keep
Okay.
that folklore. I think that's a nice way to tie it in. But
Yeah, yeah.
that's just the artist side of me talking. You know?
Right, right.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy that.
Yeah.
The last TV series is I guess it was a sleeper hit. It got a lot of recommendation and recognition, but it went away real quick. But me and my lady enjoyed it. It was something different. The writing was really unique, and I don't want to give it away. But
Okay.
if you haven't seen it, again, I'm recommend it to you and any viewers who's watching this. But I definitely enjoyed it. Now, before we wrap this up, I want to get your trash movies and TV shows. Something that you just like, know what, this is trash. Don't even waste your time with it. I have 3, but I'll let you go first.
Oh, boy, trash. Oh man, let's see.
Where do you start, right?
Yeah. Well, I scrolled through when I got the Paramount app to what did I get it for?
What app you got?
The Paramount.
I just got that yesterday.
Okay. Oh, I know. Well, I got it because my dad was coming over and he wanted to watch football. So so I got it. And then I realized like the Twilight Zone was on there. Okay. The old ones, which left Netflix, and the new one. So far, I've only watched 3 episodes of the new one. A little bit divided on. Not sure yet. I haven't really made up my mind how that's going. But I decided to just pick a couple random movies. So I picked. I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago. This one. It's funny you mentioned like clickbait because this was a web series a while ago, and it probably should have stayed a web series like 15 years ago. But it was called Always Watching, and then it's called The Marble Hornets Story. I don't even know why, and they never explain why. But it's got a guy with a like cloth over his face, which seems to have been used in many other movie covers. So it was, and I don't know, it was like a found footage thing about about a couple being stalked, and it just didn't grab me. And Angus Scrimm was in it for like literally like a minute. It must have been one of the last things he did before he died. He played a mental patient. He walked down the hall. They had a quick conversation. It didn't make sense, and then he walked away.
Oh, okay.
So I did not.
Have a movie that me and my lady went to the movies and see, and the first one was solid. I give you that, it was solid. And this goes back to the comic book side of me, collecting comic books and being familiar with the source material. What they did with this one, the first one was good. It wasn't bad, but it was good. And I'm not sure what happened. I'm not sure they got new writers. I don't know if this was a rush production, but this was trash. And I sat there and I felt my face like this. A lot of that. And when you start noticing you're doing that, it's bad. It's like, this ain't it. But Venom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Trash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Special effects was good. Of course, big budget, but besides that, no.
Yeah, my brother takes my son to see every Marvel movie, every single one. It doesn't matter what the reputation is. And my son came back and he was like, "It was interesting." That's what he said. Like he was like, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, he was being nice. It's trash.
He was being nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I have another one for you. I'll just wrap them up with these last two. I think what took me out this movie was the way they written the daughter, and at the end, nobody survived, and that's not it. You need people to survive.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The daughter was horrible.
It's horrible.
They,
And I felt like she added 20 minutes to the movie that didn't need to be there.
yeah, she was horrible. And somebody needed to survive. But besides that, it was a good movie, good action, well shot, like the design set. A lot of things had stuff going for it, but that was it. The last movie that me and my lady seen, of course, that's my little movie person right there. We watched it. It was another movie that I watched in theater, and I was like, wow. Every time I'm sighing, it's because this is not good.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh, okay.
Black Widow.
Yeah, to be honest, I thought you were going to say Eternals for a second there, but yeah.
Yeah. Now, what took me out was the fact that the father, Red Crimson, was trying to keep the family together. They got pulled apart. He got incarcerated. The mother continued with her experiment on them and other ladies to create this Black Widow organization / spy assassins. They get the father out, and they treat him like he's the butt of all their jokes when he's the one trying to save him. But the mother, they surround her, and she's the one that did that to him. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't allowed to be in the main focus of any major decisions and stuff like that. He was the butt of the jokes and stuff. And I'm just sitting there like, ooh, this is not a good look.
Yeah.
So if you've seen it, have you seen this?
I haven't seen it. Do you think maybe because of his character from Stranger Things, they made him like the joke? Because to be honest, I bailed on Stranger Things when him and Winona Ryder were on the run.
Mm-hmm.
It was like too goofy, and I got tired of the jokes.
Yeah. Sometimes, I think we talked about it on one live stream where we said, you're for your quote, you only get 4 jokes a movie. Remember we spoke about that. You get 4 jokes, Marvel, and then we have to continue that with other movies too. That's action or drama. Or
right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that was trash. Well, I'll take it back. It wasn't trash, but it wasn't a good movie. Black Widow, again, Army of the Dead, the daughter, and I think somebody should have survived at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they have a part 2 called Army of Thieves on Netflix. Have you seen the trailer to it? Or?
Oh, no, I didn't know there was a trailer yet. No.
Yeah, the movie's out.
Oh, okay.
And I watched it. And the way it's set up, it's a prequel to Army of the Dead. So I'm like, why wouldn't you just drop that first to build a universe?
Right.
And then that same guy who's a locksmith who was stealing his stuff.
Okay.
When he gets to Las Vegas and he cracked the safe, you have more of a backstory behind him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the guy. It's his movie, Army of Thieves. It shows him how became a thief and all this and that. But in the background, you see the TV and they're talking about outbreak in the United States, the zombies. So it's coming.
Right.
They're also doing these heists. So I'm like, okay, that should be number 1. And then number 2, because the next one is Planet of the Dead, which I'm looking forward to that one. Maybe they can redeem themselves.
Yeah, because I thought Army of the Dead was weird. Like it was localized to Las Vegas, and yet there were still people in jeopardy in Las Vegas. And I'm thinking, come on now, they would have helicoptered in there and gotten all those people out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just set up like a weird dynamic where they had to sneak in and out, and people were being bribed and everything, and it didn't seem real. That part didn't seem realistic to me. Now going into to commit a heist that for enough money, sure, that part of it was pretty cool. But
So again, I definitely enjoyed your movies, your recommendations, as far as movies and TVs. Of course, I definitely enjoy your honorable mentions and the one that you consider trash, because we all have those movies. We're not here to shoot down other movies, but if we don't like them, we don't like them. And on
Right,
this
yeah.
platform, we'll be honest and respectful at the same time. But if it's trash, it's trash. Hopefully, you could be on the next live stream Sunday. If possible, I will come up with a theme to discuss and give you the heads up so you can prepare for it. And thanks for coming through, Dan. And
no problem.
Can't wait to get on your platform, man.
Yeah, speaking of anime, actually both of my sons went to a convention yesterday in New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And he's, like I said, he's been watching Blade Runner Black Lotus with me.
Yeah, and Peep at the bottom, here's his information. Please follow his channel.
Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I definitely, I'm thinking about like I know Killian, he's got an Akira poster in the back behind him. And I know him and Nightwatch were excited for the Black Lotus series. So maybe I want to do something with like anime and live action adaptations of anime. We'll have a discussion about it at some point. So,
because actually I just watching some anime now, and they are shooting the Gundam movie, the live action for Netflix, and Leonardo DiCaprio is coming back around to produce Akira. He don't want to star in it because he was trying to get his hands in there. So I'll get some information together.
Yeah,
if that's something that we might want to get into, like animation, because I'm a big anime head. We can get in there, man. We can chop it up. We can do live action and anime and classics or whatever. We can do that. So again, I appreciate you coming through, Dan, and I will see you next Sunday.
All right, it was fun. Thanks for having me.
As always, peace.
All right, later. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.